Good morning. Jesus said, "If you give even a cup of cold water to one of the least of my followers, you will surely be rewarded." I reckon the same promise would apply to someone who gave a glass of cold milk to someone in need, wouldn't it? The story goes that there was a young man who was down on his luck. He'd been trying to sell goods door to door to pay his way through school. Things weren't going so good, and he found himself left with only one thin dime. And was he ever hungry? He thought about asking for a meal at the next house. He could smell something cooking, and oh, it smelled good. The aroma was just about more than he could take. But he lost his nerve when a lovely young woman answered his knock on the door. Instead of asking for a meal, he asked for a drink of water. The young woman thought he looked pretty hungry, so she brought him a large glass of cold milk. He drank it ever so slowly, and when the glass was empty, he asked how much he owed her. She said, "Nothing. Mother taught us not to accept pay for a kindness." He said, "Then I thank you from the bottom of my heart." Howard Kelly not only felt stronger physically, but that cold glass of milk renewed his faith in God and mankind. He had been ready to give up. Years later, the kind young woman who had poured that large glass of milk became critically ill. The local doctors were baffled. They finally sent her off to the big city, where they called in specialists to study her rare disease. Dr. Howard Kelly was called in for the consultation. When he learned the name of the town she came from, a strange light filled his eyes. Immediately he excused himself and went to her room. Dressed in his doctor's gown, he went in to see her. He immediately recognized her, though she didn't recognize him in his garb. After a brief visit, he walked on back to the consultation room, determined to do his best to save her life. Well, after a long struggle, her battle was won, and she was being dismissed. Dr. Kelly requested that the business office bring him the final bill for his approval. He looked it over, then wrote something on the edge, and then had the bill sent to her room. She was afraid to open it. She braced herself, knowing that the debt would be so astronomical it would take the rest of her life to pay it. Finally, she opened the paperwork, and something caught her attention. What's this? Someone had scribbled a note. She read the following words: "Paid in full with one tall glass of cold milk. Respectfully, Dr. Howard Kelly." I'm Larry Hatfield. Good day.